Hey, Doug with Extreme Colors Auto Spot in Greenville. I want to share with you the proper way to clean your car without damaging the paint. Because again, improper washing, or it could be an improper wipe down, will cause scratches, different kind of paint defects, water spotting. So I have a really unique product here, and anybody who knows me knows that I love this product. And it's ONR is what we call it. It's Optimum No Rinse. This is made by OptiCoat. This is a company who makes, or it's Optimum, the company that makes OptiCoat. But this product right here is very special. It does some really neat things because it basically, what we're going to do, we're going to mix a ratio with this in it, and this product will encapsulate little grains and not allow the grains to scratch your paint. Talk about microfibers. So basically we take the microfibers and we wash them before we use them, and that gets rid of the lint, or a lot of the lint, and it also softens them up. And then we detag them because they have little tags on them. When you wash these, make sure that you do not use a fabric softener sheet when you dry them, because it will clog up the thread and it won't be as absorbent. So that's one little tip there. So let's get on with the ONR. So when we want to mix this up, I'm going to take a Zep bottle. I love these bottles. They last a long time. These are 32 ounce. And basically, I'm going to put water in here. And then, so now I'm going to add this. So what I've done here, Brian, if you could show, I have marked, there's like a little line where the first little screw area there is, where this kind of tightens down, and that's how much you want to fill this. So literally this bottle could last you years. So I'm going to put some in there. I mean, that is plenty. That's probably a little bit much, so I'm going to drop a little. Now the ratio is so important, because if you use too much of this, the only complaint I've ever had with ONR is people complain that it leaves a haze behind. And if it's leaving a haze, it's because you got too much product. So this takes that much product. I mean, it's barely any in there. And so I'm going to pour it in. And I'm going to look for the color. If when you get done with this, if it's really blue, you have too much ONR and you need to remix it. You almost just want like a very, very hue of blue. So that, I'll go ahead and add the rest of this. And always add more, but I can't really take it away. I'll mix that up, and that's about how you want it to look. Just kind of like a very, very light ice blue. So I got that covered. Got their mixing ratio. Now I got my towels here. Now the key to this is, so number one, a microfiber towel can scratch paint. Just know that. I could go here. Now this car, the whole front end is wrapped in our XPEL paint protection film. So if I scratched it, it would self-heal when it got in the sun, or if I applied heat. But let's just say but I don't intentionally want to do that either. So if I went up and this car just had normal paint and I really dug into it, this will put little light micro scratches in it. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that the key to doing what I'm about to do is that you do not want to allow any of the microfiber dry area to come in contact with dry paint area. So that's key, okay? Because the reason why, if you just kind of spray this a little bit and kind of spray the panel a little bit, if you do that, then there's going to be parts of your microfiber towel, there's going to be parts of your fender that are dry. And if there's a grain setting on there and you move it around, you haven't given the ONR enough opportunity to do what it does. So when I'm going to wipe a panel, so I'm going to have these two towels, and one's going to be wet and one's going to be dry. And this one here, so I'm going to, now, I've shown up in Atlanta, I'm at Caffeine and Octane, or I'm at the Upstate Cars and Coffee. So I want to get this microfiber really wet. because I don't want any dry fibers coming in contact with dry paint. Now, if I was at home doing this and I had a bucket, and what's neat about this ONR with your grit guard in the bottom, you could use the ONR in a bucket and you could fill it up to, you know, maybe the top of our logo here, and you can just keep it. And a lot of people do this. It sounds crazy, but you can keep the ONR mix in your bucket, and you can just put like a piece of plastic saran wrap on top and just keep using that. And you can use that for literally months, which is crazy. Because the reason why is because any contaminants are going to go below your grit guard. You're not going to pick those back up. So a lot of guys who use this product will keep a bucket of it just mixed laying around the garage. And if you're at home and you want to do a wipe down, then, you know, what I just did with this, you would just dunk it in the bucket. To break that vehicle down into one panel at a time, that's easy for me to concentrate on. So that's what I'm going to do in this process. So I'm going to wet, and I'm going to be very liberal with the product. And you can see it beading up nice because this also has our ceramic coating on it. But I'm going to be very liberal because remember, $16 for that size that's going to potentially last for years. So I spray a lot, and now I've got my wet microfiber. I know it's thoroughly wet. I'm going to go top, bottom. And if I was doing this out in the field, I would definitely start at the top. I'm just doing this for a demonstration. So I'm going to start here. Like I say, top, bottom. You see I already have flipped my rag. Do that again. And then as I get down here, go inside here as a final. And I'm going to set that down right here. I'm going to take my, now all grains are removed. I know there's nothing sitting on top of that paint. Now I can go dry. And I'm going to just dry off what I just did. And notice I'm not like, I got to get in there. I got to push really hard on. I'm not doing that. I am just barely letting the towel go over the paint. It's just gliding over. Because I went a little harsher when I had it lubricated. So that's what I will do. So that's a panel. That panel's clean.